This video is brought to you by Straight Goods News, Canada's alternative online news source. Visit straightgoods.ca.
The official NDP Veterans Affairs Critic, and we're here today to talk about the recent court case on May 1st from Federal Court Justice Barnes, when he ruled very clearly that the CISIP clawback, the insurance payment that gets deducted from other forms of payment from 6,500 disabled veterans in this country, has to stop, and the government has to do the right thing and stop the legal proceedings and pay out the money that these heroes of our country so rightfully deserve. I'm joined today by other members of Parliament, not only from my own party, but that of the Liberal Party and elsewhere. And I can tell you this much, folks. Although the government would not answer the question today about stopping the appeal process or not appealing it, I must say that there are support for ending ending the legal proceedings and moving on to doing the right thing from a lot of members from all parties in the House of Commons. And that includes the government side, our side, the Liberal side, the Bloc, and Elizabeth May of the Green as well. So there's a lot of political support from all sides to advise the government to stop the legal proceedings and get back and meet with Dennis Manuge and Dan Wallace of McInnes Cooper, their legal team, and work out a reasonable solution so that 6,500 disabled veterans that so proudly serve their country can get the money they so rightfully deserve. At this time, I'd like to invite the lead plaintiff from Nova Scotia, Mr. Dennis Manuge, with his legal advisor, Dan Wallace from McInnes Cooper of Nova Scotia, to say a few words as well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dennis Manuge. I am the representative plaintiff for the CISIP long-term disability class action. The reason I came to Ottawa today, the deadline for the government to appeal the federal court certification or decision in our favor on ending the clawback is May 31st. The reason I came to Ottawa today was to put a human face in the House of Commons connected to this issue, and the reason my face is here is because I'm still well enough and healthy enough to be here. Many members of the approximate 6,500 members of the disabled class of veterans are not able to travel. Some are in nursing homes, some are housebound, some are agoraphobic, some are suffering from complex physical injuries as well as symptoms from complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I am their spokesman, and behind me they have my hope that this comes to an end sooner rather than later. For less than half the cost of an F-35 Raptor over its lifetime, this issue is fixed for several thousand disabled veterans for our lifetimes. I'm very disappointed that the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister neither were in the House of Commons when Liberal Sean Casey and my Member of Parliament Peter Stoffer both asked questions. I had to rely on a vague answer from a former police officer, all due respect to Mr. Fantino, but not the Minister or the Prime Minister. We're talking about a 27-page decision, not a complex decision. In fact, we literally kicked the government's ass with the decision. And I think they've had enough time to review it, but it is what it is. We are hopeful that the government will do the right thing and not appeal, but we're also hopeful that they do it sooner rather than later, as with the amount of lawyers over at the Department of Justice to read a 27-page decision and decide if you're going to appeal, it's just unnecessary. Let's get her on. We won. Let's fix it.
Can you explain to us why it's unfair, this clawback?
Absolutely. Great question. The CISIP clawback is unfair because you're talking about two different disability streams of financial compensation. The long-term disability is what most Canadians would know and understand it as a long-term disability insurance. That's income replacement. So that's 75% of your last rate of pay in whatever job you were employed in. Okay, the second form of financial compensation is for the non-economic loss of function, mental, physical capacity, and quality of life from Veterans Affairs Canada. That is a monthly payment that is deducted dollar for dollar from the SISIP long-term disability. So in fact, the more disabled you are, the less long-term disability you get. So we have several thousand veterans out there that are 100% disabled that are receiving zero long-term disability.
And what did you make of the minister's contention that he needs more time to figure out whether they want to appeal?
Yeah, I mean, more time. It is not a complex decision. It's a strong decision. The government has a moral, ethical, and now legal obligation to end this. I mean, it's a win. The only purpose served to an appeal is to prolong the agony of one of Canada's most disadvantaged groups, but yet deserving groups, the people who choose to wear the uniform of Canada.
Do you think it's a matter